there's a couple questions that I had as you sort of talked about your upbringing. One is my own ridiculous. Do you do psychedelics? So I'll pop that in here. Have you ever done any psilocybin, anything like that?
I can't actually, believe it or not, it'd kill me.
No kidding.
I take lithium carbonate for bipolar disorder, and it has a lethal reaction with psilocybin. Oh, wow. So
good to know. Well, I'm glad I didn't convince you. I was like, you got to try it, man.
No, I had a doctor tell me that once. And I'm really, really glad he did, because he actually told me that after I tried psilocybin. It turns out the first time I tried it, it was like a dud batch or something like that, which I guess saved my life. Because I didn't feel nothing from it. And I don't know. But yeah, there you go. So be careful with that, I guess.
Jesus. Well, what I was going to say, and there's other ways to get there, is that as someone who is interested in the foundations of things, the values and how they get, for me, that has been one of the most interesting paths to pursue, because, you've got your axiom, what is it? What matters? And I'm not saying do psilocybin, but if there is another way, that was the most interesting way at the last 5 or 10 years that I've been able to learn about my own axioms. And it's just taught me how biographical so many of them were. Like, I wouldn't have listed all this, daddy shit to you 6 years ago, but
well, it's important. Because we're systemically disencouraged from engaging in introspection. Mm-hmm. There are so many systems in the way our society currently works that make it difficult for us to introspect about why we are the way we are. Mm. People really don't think about themselves that much. I think a lot of it is because of how busy we are. Like, there's always a tech thing to do, media to consume. And by the way, that's great. I love anime. Okay. I'll watch it all the time. It's fine. But a lot of people, they do this. There was a Louis C.K. joke. It's not a joke, actually. It's just sad. Where he was talking about how, you always play music when you're driving around, because if you don't, all you can hear is like the hole in your heart, you cry or something like that.
Yeah, you can't stay still.
I think that's a lot of people are like that. They can't be alone or think about themselves. Used to be, everyone had to. When you were tilling the fields for 11 hours a day, it's not like you don't have like a stereo next to you. Yeah. It used to be easier to think about yourself. I think a lot of people struggle with that. And it's really, really sad, because you can't really be happy unless you do that. Or you could luck out and be accidentally happy, I guess. But
no, I find that with politics, in that when I find myself clicking on YouTube, searching Reddit, and I have learned that I enjoy triggering myself. I like to find news that pisses me off. And if I slow down and I look at that process, I go, I'm deathly afraid of boredom because of that hole. You know what I mean? Like, because of that vacuous sound that is there if you just actually sit still. And I think you're dead right. I think people have, society has provided us with thousands, if not millions, of ways to get out of that nonstop. And I'm guilty of providing people some of those outlets in the form of our videos and this podcast, for instance. But I'm trying to have more and more quiet time. And it has been incredibly useful, assisted by psychedelics and not, to not just learn more about myself, but to add so much deeper context to why I think the things I do about politics or about anything. So I'm a big fan of the slowness. I want to ask you. Well, go ahead.
Oh, I just want to say, so personally, I'm a media junkie. Mm-hmm. I always have been. I like consuming a bunch of it. I just wish people did it more mindfully.
Yeah.
This is the thing that gets me. Silent time's great. Everyone should at least a couple minutes a day. But when they'll watch something, they'll just kick on Netflix and they'll just they'll just zone out as they watch it. Or they'll be on their phone. What are you doing if you're on your phone and watching a show? There are people who have music on, then they turn Netflix on, and then they pick up their phone. I see this. I've seen people do this. It's insane. Yeah. They're like, it's literally like white noise they're pouring into their brains. I think it's very important to be very mindful about what you're doing. Like, you get up in the morning, what am I doing next? And you think, like, step by step, the process, because a lot of people sleepwalk through their free time. And it's really sad when you can remember every minute of the 8 hours you spent at the office job you hate. And then you spend the entire free time you have for the rest of the day at your home in a bleary mind haze where nothing feels like it actually happened. You vaguely remember having food. You vaguely remember watching an episode. It's like really mentally destructive. It's no surprise so many people are getting on meds these days when, like, this is how they're sleepwalking through life. So yeah, I don't know.